the capital city, of the inaugural FEC meeting. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino restates commitment on implementation on a RISE agenda. Plus, Japan summons Chinese ambassador after stones thrown at embassy schools. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. We begin the news this afternoon with a report that President Bola Tinubu has presided over his first inaugural meeting of the Federal Executive Council. The meeting, which is the first under the administration of President Tinubu, started around 12 noon in the Council chamber of the State House, Abuja, with the rendition of the national anthem. In a brief remark at the beginning of the meeting, the President charged ministers on performance, stating that his cabinet cannot afford to fail Nigerians. At the meeting were the Vice President, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, National Security Advisor, Chief of Staff to the President and ministers, and all the ministers. Recall that after confirmation of the appointment of the 45 ministers by the Senate, they were sworn in by the President on the 21st of August 2023. Since the swearing in, the ministers had familiarized themselves with their ministries before today's FEC meeting. The FEC meeting was still in progress at the time of filing this report. Meanwhile, as part of a broader effort to reduce the cost of governance in Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu has directed the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs to freeze the processing of visas for all government officials seeking to travel to New York for the United Nations General Assembly without proof of direct participation in UNGA's full schedule of activities. This was contained in a statement signed by Ojuri Ngelale, the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity. To prevent any sharp practice in this regard, the U.S. mission in Nigeria is accordingly guided on official visa processing, while Nigeria's permanent mission in New York is further directed to prevent and stop the accreditation of any government official who is not placed on the. By this directive, ensure that all officials who are approved for inclusion in the UNGA delegation strictly limit the number of aides and associated staff partaking in the event. Where excesses or anomalies in this regard are identified, they will be removed during the final verification process. The President wishes to affirm that henceforth government officials and government expenditure must reflect the prudence and sacrifice being made by well-meaning Nigerians across the nation. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has declared that Nigeria will not sustain failed economic theory that sees to the West stage of 90% of its scarce revenue in the servicing of external debts in the midst of many development challenges facing the country. The President made the statement in Abuja while declaring open the annual conference of the Nigerian Bar Association at the Veldrum Chief MKO Abiola Stadium, while energizing the gathering of 16,190 lawyers in attendance with an entrepreneurial speech. President Tinubu stated that the prosperity Nigerians require will only occur once poverty is banished from the society, with the focused cooperation of Nigeria's private sector leaders, many of whom were present at the opening ceremony.
Not to have electricity for the majority of homes in Nigeria. Yes, poverty is not a shameful thing, but not acceptable. We must banish it. So you all, reconsider thinking of investing in Nigeria. Must be a dream. But let's interrogate. How did we get here? The hardship. But can we continue to service external debts with over 90% of our revenue? It's a path to destruction.
The president also renewed his commitment to deal conclusively with the pressing issue of remuneration for judicial officers and legal practitioners, noting that true justice reform must begin with world-class salaries and benefits for legal professionals in Nigeria.
You are here not to picnic. You are here to chart the path. And my trust and respect is for all of you gathered here. So that together we can build our country and set Nigeria on the path of greatness.
In his welcome address, the NBA President Yakubu Mekiol's son expressed the confidence of the association in the ability of President Bola Tinubu to deliver good governance to Nigeria because of his pedigree and past track record of excellent performance in Lagos State, where he was the governor between 1999 and 2007.
We have decided to go on with this conversation around the thematic areas of security, economy, and administration of justice, because these are matters that are of great concern to the people of this country. It is our intention that at the end of this meeting, we would have set an agenda on behalf of the people of this country. This meeting, we would have set an agenda on behalf of the people of this country.
Transforming Nigeria is a journey that demands our collective dedication. Building across political affiliations, ethnic differences, and socio-economic differences. Building and transforming our nation is one that is not the responsibility of our government alone. Great nations start with great people, not great leaders.
My humble charge to all legal practitioners in Nigeria, be it of the bench or at the bar, is that in the discharge of our professional endeavors, we should be continually guided by the need to place the interests of the nation first.
The conference was attended by the Chief of Staff to the President Femi Gbajabiamila, Minister of Federal Capital Territory Nyesom Wike, Minister of Sports John Eno, former Secretary to the Government of the Federation Boss Mustafa, past NBA presidents and other senior government officials. Elsewhere, the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, has said that President Bola Tinubu would not permit any failure of any of the ministers, noting that Tinubu is not scared to sack any minister who is not effective. While speaking on a live broadcast, Ngelale said Tinubu had established benchmarks for each of the sectors in the country since emergence as president in February 2023. The special advisor also said that President Bola Tinubu is prepared to work closely with the National Assembly, NAS, to bring down government expenditure in the country. From the Red Chambers, the Senate, through its Committee on Finance, has said that Nigeria could generate about $3 billion from solid minerals. The chairman of the Finance Committee, Sani Musa, in a statement, noted that the informal sector, particularly the mining industry, is a hidden gem in the nation's revenue potential. He also stated the Senate Finance Committee will seriously look at the informal sector, which constitutes about 80% of the Nigerian economy, saying that the committee will also look into empowering the informal sector with a spotlight on mining. According to him, the strategic move will bring economic benefits while promoting safer and more responsible practices. Back here on the home front, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moina has again assured on his administration's commitment to the systematic implementation of the Arise Agenda blueprints for delivery of dividends of democracy to the people of the state. The governor was speaking at the grand finale of the 19th Annual Convention of All Nations Christian Ministries International at the church headquarters in Eket local government area. Governor Eno, the founding and lead pastor of the church before his election as governor, thanked God for bringing the church this far and for standing by the church through the convention, and particularly appreciated the clergymen, dignitaries, members of the church and the guests for identifying with the church's vision by turning up and ensuring a successful hosting of the convention. The governor, however, explained that the Arise Agenda blueprint was carefully developed to address the development needs of the people at the grassroots, expressing confidence that the blueprint will achieve its objectives, given its systematic implementation for the development of the state in less than 100 days in office. Meanwhile, Governor Moina has also cautioned community